This is Andrew Bukowsky with Muscle Insider, and I'm here live at the Mutant Nation booth with our now 5-time Olympia champion, Andrea Shaw. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Amazing. The joy is just bubbling over.
That's right. I often find, because we had the chance to talk on Thursday, sometimes when I talk to athletes that are stepping on this stage, I get that feeling. And you told me, I've got it. Now, what was it about this prep, this week, that you just felt it?
Well, I knew that there was a certain level of intensity and focus that I gave to the last 8 weeks that took my physique to a different level. And I just knew it. I could feel it. Every week that I would reevaluate myself and look at myself, it was like new details, stuff I'd never seen before. Yeah. Posing in different ways that highlighted, I was like, this could be the best look to date. Yep. It just started to really inspire me to give a little bit more. Yes. And at a certain point when I got here, I was like, yeah, whatever the peaking process was going to be, I just knew. I said, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready.
Well, I think one of the things that I respect so much is that Rising Phoenix was a bit of a surprise. But where a lot of people make excuses, you owned it. Yeah. You said, I was off. I know what I need to do. I'm going to fix it, right?
That's right. That's right. And fix it right away. Yeah. 8 weeks it's a long time in prep time, but when you're prepping for the biggest show in the world, it's a tight time. Yeah. And it's like at that point, it's all hands on deck, all gas, no brakes. Yeah. So you got to move.
And you were saying on Thursday that you haven't been home yet, right? Since Rising Phoenix?
Yeah, I have not been home at all. So that level of commitment, and I knew, and every day that I walked back into my Airbnb, I just reminded myself, it's not home, but it's not supposed to be because I'm on business. I'm here to take care of a specific job, and I'm not leaving until the job is done. And so it really kept me dialed in on another level, and I really appreciated that. I mean, I hardly ever grocery shopped. I Instacarted almost everything. I conserved energy to make sure I was rested for the workouts. The food was ready. I took it to a whole nother level. And with rest days, I actually got a rest day. I'm so used to, because some athletes I think give all of it. And that's good to give it all, but there needs to be rest. And I think I undervalued rest. The one thing that I noticed every week when I implemented that rest day, my physique got sharper and sharper. And so give a full rest too, no cardio, no abs, rest. And it made a tremendous difference.
Well, because everybody knows that's where you grow, your recovery is in your rest. So what are your thoughts? Do you find sometimes people, there's always the saying that you can't overtrain. Do you feel that, or you actually believe you need to take?
So I think those of us who are hard chargers, you can't overtrain until you do overtrain. And then either something is aching, nagging, and then now you got to really figure out how in the world are you getting ready to fix it quick, because you can't just stop. Yeah. So that's where, you can definitely still do it, but in the mind of a super hard, because let's face it, those of us who have reached a certain level, we're going to try to push that envelope. Yeah. And we're going to go 7 days. It sounds good. I gave it everything every day. I took no days off. That's not the wisest thing to do.
Because it can backfire, right?
Exactly. And I think that when you think about the people who have had longevity in the game, they found a way to implement that rest. Yeah. And at a certain point, if your legacy is to walk away from the sport pretty much injury-free, and still feeling good about what you did invest, I think that your structured recovery has to be a part of the program. And that doesn't just mean body work, doesn't just mean the stretching and the ice baths, and sometimes you got to give that body a break, because you're demanding so much of it. You're demanding that it go on a calorie restricted diet. You're demanding that it still give you maximum output, but you got to be able to give back to it and let it rest.
No, watching your progress in these last 8 weeks, things like the ice baths, was that always part of your regime, or is that something new you added in?
Well, it's something that was a part of the regime, but it was not consistent. So the biggest takeaway with my Arizona time was just making sure that consistency was at the forefront. So for me, it was ice baths every day, except on rest day. Yeah. So, because rest day is rest day. But that was a part of the equation, as well as dry needling. I was totally new to that, but it was, and I was scared of it. And I'm like, you want to do what? And electrical impulses, once you put them in there, like, I don't know. But it was absolutely wonderful. And it wasn't long, and it wasn't as uncomfortable as I thought. But the muscles, after being trained, even on the same day, they just completely relaxed. And it made my recovery so much better. I mean, game changer. Game changer.
No, something I found interesting was you talked on Thursday, I believe, at the press conference about learning to say no. Now, I think you mentioned that was during this last 8 weeks, but do you think, is that something that's going to pay off in dividends even now in the year ahead?
Yeah, I do. And I think that what I'll have to do is be more mindful to just express to people. And I do it with my clients. I think we talked a little bit about this, but now it's just extending that as just the golden rule. Once I start prep, I really have to be an athlete. And I need to switch my brain to being more dialed into being an athlete. There's still business, but there then comes I need to pick and choose how much of this that I can realistically, right? Because it's still all energy output. I got to realistically still be able to say, you know what? I got to take a pause on this for now. Hope you understand, right? But I really have to make sure that I'm checking on my boxes because, yeah, it's that important. Well, and that includes family. I think that's a big one, too. So family can wait.
Because I know, we've connected a lot over this last year, and relationships are very important. Do you find, is that something that you found was hard to say no for a while because relationships mean so much?
Absolutely, and I pride myself on making sure that I strengthen all of my relationships, because at the end of the day, I think that the more connected you are, because we're all human, but we have common threads, that creates the quality of life. But you also have to know that your elevation in life is also acquired by setting goals, achieving goals, so you find more balance along the way. So there's a way to say, no, you know what, this goal is really important right now, so let's pick this back up once I actually achieve the goal, and then everybody's happy.
I think one last question I want for you is, are we going to see you coming back for your Rising Phoenix title again next year?
Like nobody's business. Like nobody's business. I mean, and I'm thankful for what happened. Still stings a little bit, but when I look at the gift of the wisdom that I walk away with, and the things that have become habits now that I get to carry from now on, and I'm committed to carrying these routine habits throughout the rest of my career, I'm thankful for it. But when I said, all right, next year, I'm coming.
So, well, what do you think? Because when I was talking with Bob and Sean, kind of doing our predictions leading into the show, we were talking about it never really seemed that you were really challenged in some of your other, just because you've always come in amazing. Do you feel that was almost got comfortable coming into the Rising Phoenix because it wasn't as challenging until we saw Angela step on stage?
I think that partially was it. Part of it was, just overcommitting to certain other things that really should have been addressed. Yeah, between that and, not being realistic about putting more of the training at the forefront. So, yeah, I would have to say yes. And again, I definitely always will be realistic with myself and honest that, okay, I dropped the ball. She saw an opportunity and I was not standing on business.
That's right.
Yeah, and now becomes something that I think people should consider. When we are looking at an Olympia title, and there are those of us who do multiple shows, you also have to think about, do I want to peak, really peak, for the first show? And usually the wiser athlete says, I want to peak at the Olympia, right? So now we're going to find this formula where I'll probably come in at 90%, 95% Rising Phoenix, and then 100% Olympia. So what that looks like yet, I don't know, but I think that now I have more parameters to follow versus, I'm just going to go in and just go, and then we'll dial in the Olympia. No, there's going to be a strategy now.
Okay.
Definitely going to be a strategy now.
Good. Well, I know I can't wait, and I'm sure our fans can't wait to see what you bring next year. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be special.
It's going to be awesome.
And we can't wait to see it. We'll be cheering you on.
Can't wait. Oh, I'm going to be so excited. And I'm going to be a lot improved.
Yes.
A lot.
Well, you heard it here. This is Andrew Bukowsky, Andrea Shaw here at the Mutant Nation booth. We'll catch you on the flip side.